Welcome back to part 3. We're going to continue going through this box. Taking care of a bunch of baloney today. Laundry, cleaning. I'm all fed. It's time to start drinking and continue on. Alrighty. So this is Magyar, which is Hungary. Take these out, see what's going on here. Now, I just want to mention that I was doing a little bit of reading earlier about how to value collections, since this is something I'm bothering to do. And there's of course good content out there to read, and it's kind of refreshing myself because what I've been doing with pretty much everything that we've looked at so far is putting it into a separate box. Interesting. That I'm going to keep as the, let's say, bulk, low-end, common, minimal catalog value kind of stamps. And I'm going to keep that box just for that kind of stuff. And what I'm looking at, I'll show you guys coming up how the box is looking after we finally got through all this kind of bulk stuff here, is a lot of different glassines, just like a whole buttload of glassines coming up, and you know, kind of mint complete sets, or at least complete sets, that kind of stuff is what it looks like. Of course, we'll find out when we go through it. But that stuff, you know, I was thinking about what I'll do with it, and I think the thing is, you know, based on kind of what I was reading, is let me say, partial sets, they're kind of treated like minimal cat stuff, you know, unless they're valuable stamps, of course. But you know, if you have a partial set, I mean, you know, it's just not as good as a complete set. So a lot of these glassines that we're going to come up to are, that's cool, I like that dog, or that looks like Beethoven. It is Beethoven. If a lot of these glassines are incomplete sets that only have a cat value if they're complete sets, you know, a notable cat value, then I'm just going to toss them in this bulk box with the rest of this kind of stuff. And I was telling her, so this is miscellaneous unknown, I was telling her that the bulk stuff, you know, that's kind of cool. That's an old British stamp there. The bulk stuff, I'm thinking I'm just going to go based on weight, you know, kind of like generalize like the amount of material and then weigh it, just see how much it is. I still haven't decided exactly how much to value, you know, mixed worldwide stuff. That's kind of cool. Mauritius and Leeward Islands. See, I can't off the top of my head really say what those are worth. I doubt much, but I'm going to check them. And so yeah, I'm going to go based on weight. Oh, also, that's cool. France, free France or whatever. France Libre. This is a timber post. So yeah, this is semi-postal 1+1. Where is this from? Egypt. I am not 100% sure about that one either. This actually might be a good glassine here with a bunch of miscellaneous unknown kind of stuff. Oh, there is, actually I was going to say there's another unknown. That'll be our next glassine. St. Pierre and Michelin. See, a lot of these ones I actually, honestly, I don't know. Okay, that's Russian. I don't think that's with him. Like this one even might be, I was just looking at these in the catalog. I mean, this is probably a 70 cents, maybe $1.50 or something, nothing really special. Yeah, so I'm not sure how to value things based on bulk content yet, but I was, in the back of my mind, Bosnia Herzegovina, that's kind of cool. I'll set that aside too. You know, like I was thinking of referencing Bulgaria, like Mystic, or you know, somebody, just to see. I mean, if I come up with 3 pounds of bulk mixed stamps, you know, what is that worth? And so anyways, I'm still kind of evaluating in my head how I'm gonna value just bulk mixed worldwide, but this kind of bulk mixed stuff and everything we've gone through in the last 2 episodes of this is the kind of stuff that really only gets 10% cat value, and of course you're not gonna go and value every single stamp. So just kind of going to generalize based on weight, and there's a lot of U.S. that we started off the first episode with. This is Bulgaria, and then we kind of moved into worldwide after that, and we're kind of finishing that off now. I've looked this one up before. I thought it was a trophy. It's like a chalice or something. What's this? Venezuela? Yeah, worthless. So yeah, anyway, those are my thoughts on so far. This is an overprint Polish stamp. Not 100% on it. I don't think it's worth much, but I'm going to check it. And so yeah, I'm taking out the stuff that I just need to check just to refresh myself, or because I simply don't know, or anything, of course, that I think is better or of value. I haven't really found, honestly, anything yet that I think is really worth anything. But is this China? This is China. That's cool. Well, not all of us, but you may be aware that I was actually just reading too. I keep hearing about China being more valuable, and I guess that all of their cat values, like I guess the Chinese are taking them back to their country. One of my subscribers commented on that, and I just read about that too. I was like, wow, they really are. Like they're taking their stamps back home, which is weird to me, but whatever. So I guess Chinese stamps, they're actually pretty much going for like full catalog value, and they're just getting more and more scarce as they disappear more and more. I'm gonna check that. That's cool. And so yeah, I just learned that the other day. Albania. I learned that about a year ago, but I forgot. I was like, what's the skip ninja? Whatever. I don't know. It's Albania. Okay, that's Russia. And so I'm taking my time slower than I expected, but I thought the glassine was going to be like a lot of super duper obvious stuff to me. I don't think that's worth anything. Yeah, these mixed worldwide things, they make me want to go a little slower just so that I can really get a good United Nations. I just think that's super cool. And perforate. Actually, it looks rouletted. It looks like it was torn out of something. I can't say I've ever seen that either. So yeah, like I'll check on this Chinese stamp, see what that's going for. But it's nice to know, just when you guys are browsing your own collections, that Chinese stamps. I mean, be on the lookout. Values change based on like the public's interest. And just things in the world. And Chinese stamps are just becoming more valuable as they get scarcer and scarcer. Greece. So, I was telling her like some percentages, like most stamps go for, that's stamps, 10 to 20% of cat value. I was just reading stuff that Cuba, that is a super cool postmark. Look at that. What? You've got to be kidding me. I've never ever seen a postmark like that. That is so cool. I'm jealous. I want it. Well, anyways, I can't have it right now, but I'm setting that aside. I'll check the stamp, and then I'm just going to keep it in the kind of better pile just based on that postmark. That is so cool. What the heck, you guys? Never have come across that. So, most stamps 10 to 20% of cat value. It really is just like the cat values are like above average sale prices, for like a best case scenario and all that stuff. And okay, it's Greece overprint. Okay, I'm not familiar with that either. Yeah, because everything that I set aside, like I already have this pile here of stuff. All of these kind of things, these are actually going to kind of take me a while to catalog and Once I find them, it's like, boom, there's the value. They're either worth something or not. But to look everything up does take a minute. So everything I set aside is kind of like, it's going to take me a while, but that's okay. That's all part of the fun, the search. Deutschland, Egypt. So yeah, 10 to 20%, and bulk stuff, really, that's like 10%. That when it's mixed, the more I'm kind of locking into my head, like the more I'm reading and the more I'm going through this, and it's understandable, like, there's a reason real collections or like an organized album are worth more. Okay, everything's organized. It's all been laid out. Okay, actually, I have no idea what the hell that is. Let me check that. Things have been laid out, organized, identified, valued already, that kind of stuff. Having the work being done, having things organized, that is a huge contributing factor into what makes something a actual collection, and what makes something more valuable, so that is funny. Never seen that. Big giant imperfect air post. It's kind of flimsy. Set that aside too. So yeah, makes me glad that I bothered to make some real albums at this point in my stamp collecting career, because that's the stuff that actually makes a collection valuable. Of course, I have special expensive stamps. Highly doubt that's worth anything. Cruiser, I've seen that before. I don't think it's worth much. It's a little Russian stamp. So yeah, things being all mixed up and messy, and that does not help when you go to sell stuff. Mozambique, it's overprinted Republica in green. The Mozambique company. I don't think that's worth anything, but I'll check it just for fun. And I was going to mention earlier something that when dealers are thinking about buying collections. I mean, what they're thinking about, what collectors want to buy. When they go to buy a collection from somebody, they need to sell it. And what is it that collectors want? Well, they want stamps that are in good condition. Like grade is one thing. Okay, I've been learning too. Grade is really centering. Grade is just another word for how well centered, how the margins are, for any particular issue. Okay, so what's the grade? Excuse me. Grade and condition. Now grade is simple, right? But condition, that has a whole bunch of different factors. I mean, we're talking about the perfs. We're talking about, has anything been bent, torn, ripped, stained, hinged, not hinged? Is anything creased, folded? Is it faded? Just like condition has a lot of different things attributing to it that define what its actual condition are. And so condition is a big, of course, factor in valuing stamps. Either be it a single stamp or a bunch of stamps. See, like this one obviously was perforated. You can see the perfs there. I was trying to hold it over the black, but it's missing all the other. Oh no, it's on paper. But the perfs are kind of crappy there. I mean, this thing isn't just in great shape. We could take it off paper; it'd probably be better. That's a crap. That's not worth anything at all. And like stamps can be worth. When we're talking about those 25-cent catalog stamps, I like that. It's cool. Seeing his face. Can't remember his name right now. Stamps can be like the 25-cent cat, right? And that's, for them to stock it and sell it and all that kind of stuff. All that's factored into that absolute minimum catalog price. But that 25-cent stamp, just because it's 25 catalog, and I'm saying, well, it's worth 10%, that's like 2.5 cents. Right, which is like nothing. Like, I'm pretty sure this is a 2.5 cent. Well, I'm not sure. This is a semi-postal. As I look at it, I think I'll set that aside just for fun. But 25-cent catalog value stamp, really worth 10 to 20% probably. And then just because most, that's not like an absolute. Like we're talking about condition here. So let's say the stamp is stained and it has writing on the back. Like this one actually has, there's a term for that. The paper has gotten thinner there. I can't remember it off the top of my head. Like rubbed off or something. What is this? Republic of France. Exposition International. Sorry, guys, I'm getting sidetracked. You could have a 25-cent catalog value stamp that is actually worth nothing because it's so damaged, because the condition is so poor. So it's not like they're always worth something. I mean, they could be worth 20%, which is 5 cents, or it could be worth 10%, which is 2.5 cents, or it could be worth absolutely nothing, like worthless. These stamps don't actually have to be worth something, each one of them. Some of them aren't worth anything simply because of their condition. And so you could have like a really high, excuse me, graded stamp, like, ooh, that has a really high grade. It's like, superb grade. Oh my God. But it's actually worth nothing because the condition is so horrible. So we're saying with that terminology that it could be perfectly centered, like absolutely immaculately perfectly centered, which is totally rare for that issue, but it's worthless because it's missing all 4 corners or something stupid like that, right? It's like, well, the condition is so poor, who cares what the grade is? So, anyways, just kind of talking. Yeah, so I'll figure out how to. I'm just curious. I don't think it's worth anything. I don't think so. Move along a little bit quicker here. Yeah, I was just kind of wanted to get all that information out. That's all fresh in my mind. That's cool. There's the sun. This is China. Yep. Yeah, for China stamps, you're looking for the sun symbol. You guys probably already know that. That's their sun. And then you're looking for, that one's kind of hard to see. I bet you can see it better here. This symbol right in front of my pinky, the kind of shield with a line coming straight down, which is actually the first character up at the top corner here. That first character, that indicates a Chinese stamp. And so that's what you're looking for China. Of course, you can have those kind of Asian characters on there, and that'll kind of cue you in that it might be China. Look at that one. I don't think I've ever seen it. That's super cool. It's just so new. Yeah, and as I'm looking at, like, why don't I think this is worth anything? It's too new, guys. It's way too new. I mean, that's just a part of it. I'm sorry, but more recent stamps aren't worth really much. That's not, of course, every stamp ever. I mean, but pretty much. Semi-postal from Albania. Yeah, I'm trying to, I'm setting aside things just because I don't know them, but I'm really trying to see, like, I want to pick, for once here, maybe coming up, I want to set aside a stamp that I'm like, I think that's worth $50. I seriously have not come across anything yet that I think is worth maybe even 20. I did, on last episode, I had set aside some stamps that I was checking about, like, or that I was curious about, like, that's China again. Let me set these all in their own little China pile here for her. Even if I don't buy it, at least she'll have this stuff kind of organized. What was I saying? Hold on. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I set aside all those stamps, and I actually rewatched the video at work since we were slow. It's kind of cool. It's Hungary, an overprint. And I was looking up the stamps at work just based on the image on the video, and none of them were worth anything. Like, I'm not sure about that. Let's set that aside. I know that one's worthless. Like the 3,000 stamp for Germany, Deutschreich, and I'm like, they have some potential, I think, maybe, and go look it up, and it's worth 25 cents. Go figure. But, maybe that one was actually worth $1 or something. But see, none of the stamps that I have set aside and bothered to catalog have been worth even more than $3. So none of this is high value. Oh boy, I swear I've seen this before. This is Russian, right? No. I can't tell right at the bat. Let's just keep moving along. Set those up. So yeah, let's go. Yes, nothing. Whole bunch of these Sea Dragon stamps here. So yeah, I just really haven't found anything special yet, but we'll see what else is in there. That one I don't think is worth anything. I've looked that up before. Baratia? What the heck? I've never in my life yet have I seen that. Burriadio. What is that? Okay. That's going to get looked up. Don't even know what that is. Nippons. This is Japanese. Japanese stamps look incredibly similar to Chinese stamps, but they're missing that one character I was talking about. Just as an American guy, that's what I look for. I mean, it's got to have that kind of kind of bent circle with a line straight through it, or it's not Chinese. What is this? I can understand here. What is this? Miscellaneous unknown. Yeah, I don't know what a lot of these are right off the bat either, fella. I would have probably put them in the same folder. Look at this big, massive 5. This must be surcharge. What's this? Post-Franco. Franco? So I think this is French? No, dang it. Was it Spain or something? Anyways, I am definitely curious about that. And this actually looks rouletted. It's definitely not a normal perf. You guys see that kind of edge at the bottom? Try to hold it over black so you can see, but yeah. That one is unique looking to me. This is nothing. Mark worthless. And yeah, like I was saying in the last video, I mean, if a stamp's worth, that's cool. Anytime you see the portrait, that's always British. Sherlock, yeah. 24, it must be pence. I know it's not euros. Yeah, I just haven't seen anything worth any real money. This is funny, a royal wedding. I saw that one recently. That was actually in that dealer approval book. Still, maybe I'll throw that in the book for her just for fun. I won't actually hinge it in there or anything. It's probably already hinged. No. Huh. It's actually in good shape. Wow. That one was, I think, worth like $8 or something like that. So that was actually a nice little stamp here. Egypt, Russia, British Solomon Islands halfpence. Albania, Sweden, Albania again. I don't think that's worth anything. What is that? Netherlands, 80 cents. So, Republic, 125 franc. I just can't say I know. I'm going to set that aside. Dang it. I used to, this is part of just memorizing everything. Like, I have looked up Hrvatska before. And darn it, I can't remember what that is right now. It's hinged. Luxembourg, bent. Royal wedding again. This looks like, nope, what is that, Korea? I believe that's Korea. I don't think it's worth anything. How do I know that? The CH. Right, we've got Asian kind of characters, but the CH, I believe that indicates Korea. Australian Republic, Gabonese. So yeah, we're definitely going. I don't think that's worth anything either. Pretty old, but not worth anything. We're definitely going slower than I expected, but these glassines just have such mixed content. I mean, if I don't want to just spread it out and just take like some quick look. I think that's unfair. Some of those US ones, like I actually know US stuff so well, pretty dang well, that I really can go through it that fast and say, look, none of this is worth it. So the BB, I think that's Bulgaria, and what the heck? There is some cool stuff in this glassine, you guys. Look at that. What a cool airplane overprint. What is that? I've never seen that. I'm having fun right now. I can't believe that I'm coming across stuff I've never seen. Like, I've never seen that before. Czechoslovakia. Or Albania. Russia. Deutschland. This looks pretty recent, actually. 04. Yeah, just because the stamp's recent doesn't mean it's worthless. I mean, like they had some of those special issue kind of reprinted inverted Jenny U.S. stamps that they only release so many of, and they're worth thousands of dollars or whatever, and that's a very recent issue. And so, and like I have what is this law library? Like I have I bought actually once, only one. I still have it in my collection. I have bought like a global international stamp that's like a $40 stamp. I think it's like the single highest denomination U.S. stamp that I have, and I kind of have to dig around a little bit in my collection to find it, but I know I have it. I think I actually might know what binder it's in, but that's worth something. I mean, heck, I actually paid $40 for the stamp, you know, so it's at least worth $40. And I could use it too. It's totally recent valid postage with a high face value. It's worth something. That's just an example of a recent stamp. I just learned recently too that the British stamps, they usually have the portrait usually at the top, and it's usually facing left or right. I always thought it was facing one way, but I never really picked up on if it was facing one way or the other. Apparently you can face both ways, but it's just usually at the top and on either side. Spain with a nasty cancel on there. Ugh. There's a messy cancel. It would have been some kind of design, because that looks like a guy. There's actually like a few heads. I don't know what it would have been. Look at Scotland. That's cool. I have a little well, it's not little, but I have actually a little section of probably, I want to say like 15 to 20 Scottish stamps in my new album I'm building, and I'm very proud of that album already. It's one thing to build like a Mystic Hingeless heirloom album that everything's already made. I don't think that's worth it. It isn't perfect though. Big, nasty, soft, strong, heavily hinged on there. I'm just gonna, I don't think so. I've delved into identifying Russian stamps because a lot of Russian stamps look like they're going to be worth something and they're not. I don't know why I feel that way, but just from the look of them, you know, they look old, they look like they could be, but they're not. Oh, there we go. What is this? Vratska again. My guts tell me it's not worth anything, but I'm going to check. Publica Portuguesa. Okay. There we go. Another British stamp that I can put along with my orange of the same issue. Put that, I'll slip those, I think, just into the dealer approval book. Maybe I could even change the tally on the value for that book with those additional stamps added in. Volta, yeah, Trinidad, Russia. Mali, Russia, Mauritania. Oops, what was that? This is Israel. Yeah. $2 Israel. Wow, cool. I'm not sure I've seen that one either with the tiger. That's a good looking stamp. That's cool. Highly doubt it's worth anything. Gonna check. What is this? Oh, shoot. Hold on, let me read this. Military. Oh. Allied military postage. Italy. Wow, that's cool. I don't think I have a single one of those. My collection, this little glassine has turned out to, this is already starting to get better, guys. Russia, it's bent. So, Egypt, air post 3 mils. Also, one thing, writing on the back, that doesn't help anything. Portugal, Tesseract, Iran, 3 rupees. I think they're rupees in Iran, I could be wrong. Republic de Burundi, 150 francs, big nasty crease. Got intriguing, but the crease kind of makes me just say, who cares? See, like this is the kind of old Russian stuff that I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure, yeah, Mapka. Like when I first got into identifying Russian stamps, I was thinking, like, I mean, this just came off to me. I'm like, man, that's so old. And look at the design; it just looks like an older stamp. Maybe it's worth something, and it's not. It's not. Sorry. Republic of South Africa. Turks and Caicos, quarter pans, more Albania, again, a lot of that stamp in here. 20 mils, looks overprinted. I was going to say, I think it's Egypt, and I do see that on there. Don't think that's worth much. Okay. Egypt, here's that one I set aside already. Antigua. Zanzibar, Bermuda, on paper piece. Like, I don't think these are worth anything either. This is exactly what I was talking about, the kind of stuff that I just think, wow, what is that? And it's worth 25 cents. I could be wrong, but I really don't think that's worth anything. So, kind of a shame. Greece, Israel has a little tag on it, but what Israel? That one's bent. Hrvatska, Hungary. I think I'm going to look up Hrvatska after this just so I can remember, because I'm just like, what the hell is that in my head? I can't remember. Egypt, Hungary, Trinidad, Tobago, Helvetia. Oh, by the way, I still say that wrong. I'm just so used to saying Helvetia. Oh gosh, I can't remember. I think it was Robert Brown. Just keyed me into that's Helvetia. Helvetia. Okay, so I say Helvetia like a moron, but whatever. What do I know, right? So I'll have to train myself. Helvetia. Monaco. That is cool. Triangular, nice, bright, kind of violet. 10 cent, and that's Roosevelt on there. Oh, damaged, hinged badly. Bummer. I don't think it was worth anything anyway, but that's a pretty cool stamp. Too bad it's damaged. Greece. This is China. Hey, Republic of China. Let me set that in the China pile. Ireland. 2 shilling 6. Wow, that is what is that cancel, guys? What the heck? That is, like, I love the color of it. Some kind of purpley blue. More purple, probably. That is a killer cool cancel. And it is a 2 shilling 6 pence stamp. I can't really say what that's worth. I just think that's a unique postmark. I like that. Kind of an obliterator, which some collectors don't like. But what is this? This is Japan. Yeah, no Chinese symbol, so this is Japan. We're almost done with this glassine here, and I've actually spent way more time on it than I expected. Okay, Russia, another Albania, Israel. I don't even have to look. I know that one. Egypt. This is a semi-postal, I do believe. I am not sure where that's from. Multiple hinges. I know, I'm just going to skip it. Hashman King of Jordan. Nice little postmark here on this British stamp. That's sock on the nose, that one. Nice postmark. I can kind of see that in my head in the catalog, since I was just going through these ones for Great Britain. And this isn't that far away from those in the catalog. I don't actually think it's worth much, sad to say. I'll check, dang it, I'm not sure. I think it's only like $2, maybe about 50 or something. Okay, so Iran, cool. We got through the last of it here. Bulgaria or something, I think. Whew, that was an interesting glassine there. Wow, way better than I expected. At least it's stoked my curiosity here with what are these stamps that I set aside Actually, a fair bit of stuff in there, and I don't know what all of it is. It's pretty cool. I do get kind of tired of seeing the same stuff over and over, and it's nice and refreshing to see some new stuff. Just never know. Okay, well, let me put this back, have a shot, and we'll continue on. So just real quick, these were the stamps that I had set aside last video. I just threw them in some used glassine, and I looked up, see, this is the one I was talking about, 3000 Deutsche Reich. Not worth much. Not worth much at all, unfortunately. So this one, I think I'll just go ahead and slip in this unknown folder. Same with this. I thought maybe 2 marks, that this would be worth something, but really, nope. Neither of those have any good cat value. And I haven't apparently looked up anything else. I guess I only did 2 stamps while I was at work, but... Oh, I think I looked this up too. Oh yeah, I looked that up too, and it wasn't worth anything. This, I was correct. The mint version of this stamp, the cat values are great, and it definitely gets heavy. The cat values with higher denoms. It turned out the different sizes on these stamps were based upon the higher value, the higher denomination in the sets. They switched over to a little bit bigger size than the lower values. So that's so bigger postal horn Deutsch stamps here. These bundle post stamps, you're going to want to look out for those. And if you ever find them when they're mint, I mean, I was looking at the cat values, and the higher, like the highest value ones, they're like 150 cat value and stuff a piece for mint. So that's pretty cool. So these definitely can be worth something, but this, it wasn't one of the highest denoms, and this one's used. So the actual real world value of that is slammed down to the floor. But yeah, that was the only one. Those 3, I think, were the only ones I've actually looked at out of this. And yeah, what I'm doing is just like this video. I'll just grab another glassine and I'll put all the stuff I've set aside into it. And by the end of going through everything, I should actually have like a stack of stuff that I think is, I want to check. See, like this one, I'm checking for fun. So if I find anything worth of value, then I'll put it in a different glassine for it's worth something. And at the end, I'm going to have just a bunch of stuff that I need to check, like a lot of the things I set aside. And of those things, whatever's valuable, I'll put it in its own little kind of better valuable pile. And at the end of everything, I should have accumulated throughout her collection everything that I think has value or that I've checked has value. And that's pretty much what I'm going to tally up. And then based on, as long as it's all in good condition, I'm probably going to offer like 20% catalog value. And just and that's for the better content stuff, right? Based off the cat values, 20% what I would really pay, as long as they're in good shape. And if I find like a complete set that is damaged or something, it's not. I'm just going to set it aside because it's damaged. So I don't care if it's complete, if it's damaged, whatever. It's not worth it. And so yeah, 10 to 20%, very common for pretty much everything in catalog value. Now, when do you get up to 30, 40%? That's when things are in an actual album. That's when things are in really good condition, and they have good grade, and they're already in an organized, thought out album, like that kind of idea. When it's really a collection, like a whole album of, let's say, some German stuff, and you have like this really nice album that somebody made, and it's got valuable stamps and everything's organized and beautiful and pretty and put into an album. That's when things start to sell at 30, 40% catalog value. So, just wanted to put that out there. Let me get the next glassine. Hold on. Okay, I couldn't help but get sidetracked here real quick. So I pulled out this dealer approval book. So this is number 111, which she already had several of in there. It was only worth $1.10 cat. It's nothing crazy. I'm just going to kind of slide it right there. But I will have to add this into this value. Now this guy, pretty much the same design. It's an A54 image design. This guy ended up being number 125. I just learned that this is actually they issued this design was very similar to an earlier design that people hated. that was unpopular with the public, and I do believe it's actually the issue that this one came from, that I had trouble, oh it's right there actually next to the stamp, that I had trouble, oh right there, sorry, I had trouble identifying these, because these ones don't have a star in the corner as opposed to these, right? And so this was part of that earlier design, and this one isn't, but all the rest in the issue were like green and lilac or something, and they were unpopular with the public. They hated it, so they reissued this kind of design with these stars in the corners, of different colors to help identify the different denominations. People didn't like that, you know, there was a bunch of different denoms that all had the same color. The postal clerks didn't like it, the public didn't like it, whatever. So they reissued this style and added the little stars in the corner. And this guy, yeah, is number 125. Now, this one's actually not worth much, only $2.25 in the cat being used, and this one has a quite heavy postmark on it, just to kind of keep talking. So does this one. You know, when we're talking about selling stamps to collectors in general, they want light stamps, the light cancels on the stamps. The reason is they just don't want the cancel to interfere with the design. You know, like you can't really see the design of this stamp particularly well because it has such a deep, heavy, hard cancel. Excuse me, say for this duplex here, I mean, it just kind of screws with the design. You can't really see the original design. Whereas this one, let's say, pretty light. You can still see the whole design. And that's why collectors in general like light post cancellations, because you can still see the original design of the stamp. Now that makes sense. You know, when I started out, I still kind of feel like it. I always kind of liked bold cancels, just like a clear cancel. You know, to me, I'm like, ooh, like I can really read that, the letters, and it's just like thick, bold. Like there's actually a part of me that likes that, and to each their own. But in general, as far as collectors go, yeah, I mean, they kind of want light cancels. You know, even like this one, it's pretty light. You can still see, you know, the design of the stamp. You still see Victoria there, you know, whereas that one with the 713 or whatever, I mean, it messes with her face. You can't see it very well. You can't read the letters in the oval, you know, postage and revenue or whatever it says. That's the idea. You know, like this light wavy one, you can still, it's like, this one's like medium strength cancel to me. It's like not particularly heavy, but you can still see the whole design of the king there. So anyways, I just wanted to mention that as well, in case anybody didn't know or was just unaware, but a lot of you already know this stuff. But, so yeah, I'm going to, real quick, I'm going to go ahead and update this. And then, while I was dicking around in the catalog, I did end up seeing this one again. Now, this one I thought had the king on it. It has Victoria on there, so this is actually an earlier issue than I thought. This one ended up being number 113. It has a $13.50 catalog value. Now there's a little bit to be desired, like the perfs are a little bit rubbed off here. I mean, they're kind of damaged. You know, the corner could be better. You can tell by like those two perfs at the top, just how far they're sticking out. That, yeah, I mean, these perfs here on the side, not that great. So, plus it has an ugly little hinge on there, kind of an indentation almost at the top. You can kind of see that kind of crescent moon look right there in front of my finger. So overall it's in kind of poor condition, and could be better, you know. So perfs, the hinge, which is an ugly hinge, one of those, God, I hate those hinges, those kind of paper hinges, colored paper, whatever those were. I would take a glassine, like a normal hinge, over that kind of hinge any day. I hate those hinges, whatever they were. So yeah, you know, $13.50 cat value. So in actuality, in my opinion, what would I buy this stamp for? You know, 10%, 5%. So that takes this $13.50 down like $1.35 or less. Let's say $1 maybe. You know, because of that hinge in my head. I mean, I don't even know if I pay $1, maybe 80 cents. You know, so yeah, this is where, unfortunately, even though this one, you know, had some cat value, the reality of when you go to sell it, you know, when someone's going to buy this from you, I mean, what's the condition? I don't even care about the grade, you know, the centering. It looks like it's definitely far off to the bottom. But so this is me just kind of getting into all of this and just thinking it through in my head. You know, what's it like? I do like that it's like sock on the nose. That's actually a really nice cancel. It must be 1890 on the cancel, October 23rd, Glasgow. That's actually a really nice cancel. It's a little heavy, da da da. So, yeah, this is me like running through in my head, you know, working out the condition of what I think. And so this is where, even though this one actually had some cat value, I mean, 13, almost 14 bucks, but in actuality, it's a little stained. Even in actuality, it's not worthless, but it's minimal cat or minimal value for what I would actually pay for this stamp. Now, this also goes to depend on some things that will matter. Are, you know, maybe somebody collects Glasgow cancels, and this is actually a sock on the nose Glasgow. So if that was up your alley, you know, this is where you can sell this to one amount to somebody else, sell it to somebody else for a different amount, because they're like, oh, well, I don't care about the hinge or the perfs, like, I want that cancel, baby. So this is where things vary, but for me, yeah, this isn't really worth anything. So I'm going to set this in its own little glassine, because I already devoted a glassine to it. But you know, purchase price, I'm going to say like 80 cents. And so, you know, you guys can have your own opinion or whatever, but that's how I feel about it. Because, like I was saying, you know, collectors, we want nice stamps. We don't want junk. And that one just has a few issues going on. Each conditional problem that it has, you know, precipitates the value just downwards and downwards. So the perfs, the staining, the crinkle at the top, the nasty hinge, like, it just takes this, what would have been originally maybe a 20%, 10% of this catalog value, which would be, you know, $1.50 to, you know, $3 or whatever, and it just dwindles it down to what I think is probably 80 cents or something. So, yeah, you know, I mean, this is where even stuff that I think might be worth it isn't in actuality really that great. So kind of a bummer, and I just wanted to just run that by you guys. These are the things that I'm thinking. This is what I'm going through, and this is how I'm doing it. So anyway, let's continue on. Alrighty, next up, well, nothing written. Ooh, looks like Canada. Looks like on paper, and looks like regular issues here. This one I'll probably make short work of. Yeah, this is a little H in there. 2.5 pence from 23. So look at 5 shillings. Oh boy, all 4 corners are bent. 2 of them are bent back. The top left is bent and the bottom right is bent. Darn it. Poor shape. That's a shame. I wonder what that would have been worth, but it is in such poor condition, I will not waste my time. Well, these are clearly larger Machins here. They're on paper. Man, look at that. 10 shillings. Now, I am not the Machin master. So, in my head, I'm thinking, of course, larger. That means probably higher denomination. And that means potentially more valuable. Though these are on paper, they're not. That one's lightly canceled, which is nice. And it is a 10 shilling stamp. It does have some perf damage going on, though. Oh, yeah. The top right perfs are kind of poopy. I want to look that up just for fun, but maybe this one too, just for fun. Again, just to familiarize myself. But if either of these two were to have value, it would definitely be the 10 shilling stamp. Shame that it's in poor shape. So these are all just nothing here. This is nothing. Yeah, I know these are not really worth a whole lot. And this is actually Britain here. This little stack of on paper. Even though this one isn't. These are not worth a whole lot. Yeah. This one kind of be separate here. Yeah. Skipping that stuff. But we found a couple of cool ones there. Right, and those ones, these are not Canada, these are Britain. So anyways, yeah, I'll have to check that out. Put all these back. Nothing there worth our time. Okay. The next glassine, unknown. More of unknown. I wonder if this will be just as fun as that first one. Off the bat, that kind of USSR that I would think is valuable but isn't. Egypt. Here's a Straits settlement stamp. Stained. Excuse me. Looks like a partial cancel. Ew. Poor shape. This is where I think maybe if it was even worth $3 or something. I mean, it's crinkled, stained. What's the point? Milwaukee Kingdom of Yemen, Montserrat, Turkey. Seen that guy before, and it isn't worth anything. What is that? That's China. Hey, there you go. There's hope. Yeah, and I don't really know what. I mean, I know like original imperial Chinese stamps, you know, with their dragons and stuff. I mean, those can be worth some money. I've always known that, you know, since I started a couple of years ago. What is that? This is a Persian stamp. It's in perforate. Really cool postmark. What the heck? I like that. That is getting set aside. I'll have to check on that. By the way, I always think this. I don't know what you guys think, but I grew up, you know, in the 90s. I was born in the 80s, but Prince of Persia, I used to love that. Or not Prince of Persia. What the heck? Prince of Persia? Well, that's a great video game. But the one with Aladdin, is that Prince of Persia? Oh my god, I can't believe it. I'm getting old. I can't even remember these Disney movies. I think it is the Prince of Persia, right? Oh my god, I have got to check this. With the squawking parrot that was Gilbert Gottfried. Hold on. Holy crap, I can't believe it. Aladdin. What is wrong with me? Oh, that's embarrassing. Aladdin. I actually Googled Prince of Persia, and well, I didn't even have to Google Aladdin. I was like, oh, it's Aladdin. It's not Prince of Persia, of course. Stupid. I used to love Aladdin. And back then, you know, I just honestly, I mean, we can call it Iran. It is what it is, but I thought Persia was a way more beautiful name than Iran. And this is a total baloney, just me talking right out of my ass here about something that's not even important, but I preferred the name Persia. Like, I think Iran is quite an ugly name compared to Persia. I don't know. That's just me. And when I was growing up, it was Persia. When I only learned it was Iran because of these stamps. And I was like, what? There's no more Persia? They changed the name to Iran? Iran is Persia, the place from Aladdin? I'm like, what? Ah, I just didn't like that. I still don't. It's always Persia to me. It'll always be Persia. Whatever. Senegal. 1 franc. Oh, God. I might as well check it. Like I said, if I'm not sure, I don't think that's worth $1, but let me go check. I don't think that's worth anything. Mali, Israel. This is Japan. Anything that says Nippon. This is Japan. Look at that. What is this? This is Korea again. Pretty cool. It looks like a dragon. I am like 98% sure that the CH means Korea, but I don't want to misinform anybody that happens to watch this, so let me just check that again too, just to be safe. Oh, that was easy. Yep, I was right. Look at 500. And the truth is, oh, bummer, writing on the back. Darn. Yikes. Collectors don't like that either. At least I haven't seen like a whole lot of her stuff with that, but there's definitely stamps in here that do have writing on the back. Fortunately, it makes me feel sad because I know that there's a lot of stamps in my stuff that does have writing on the back too. That was an old practice of collectors. They didn't think it would matter, just like hinging stamps. But as time has told, unfortunately, that is definitely not the right thing to do. Although I will admit, it is convenient to actually have, you know, the stamp number, like the catalog number or the value on the back. You know, that makes sense. I get it. but it's a bummer that unfortunately in reality today that retracts from the value. So anywho, I'll set that aside just because I don't really know what that one's worth. It does look a little bit older, to be honest. Monaco. This is an old Russian one here. A lot of those Russian stamps, man, they just look so old. They look like they would be worth something, but they're not. I think last video I was actually speculating if one of these was a Hitler era, and it's not. That's actually before, with that design. That's before Hitler, so it was like the 1920s or something like that. Oh, I did look that up at work as well. That was kind of fun. I was rewatching the video to make sure I liked it before I actually released it to you guys, and I was like, well, let me go look up these stamps while I'm just sitting here and see if, that way when I go home I can just pull them out of that glassine. It is nice to refamiliarize myself. There was a point in time where, with this worldwide stuff, I was a little bit more sharp. When I was sorting Grandpa's stuff, I mean, stuff like that, I mean, I actually got pretty well familiar with a lot of different countries, and just, you know, I spent a lot of time doing that, and that's the kind of work that has helped me give me the confidence that I'm actually kind of capable of doing this. Look at that, bummer, completely damaged. You know, because the truth is, I don't know how many hours, guys, but it's a lot that I have spent dicking around in the catalog. It's amazing the amount of time that you can spend just trying to figure out, you know, what country a stamp even comes from, and then to actually find it in the catalog. 26 plus 3, so this is semi, but my guts tell me it isn't worth anything, but I want to check it. But yeah, I've spent so much time, and through that pain has come, that's China. Hey, nice on paper. I have looked up this kind of housing series before, and I don't think it has any real value, but it's China, so I'm setting it aside. Yeah, so through all that pain and effort that I've made, I know it's like hundreds of hours of messing around in this Scott catalog and on the internet, and just struggling, reading forums, everything I can do to try and figure out what stamps I've got. That was really mainly my grandpa's collection. That's kind of cool. That's 40 Con. That is Russia, the USSR. Perf damage, I'm going to skip it. So yeah, I've just, over time, you know, this is like, how do you get good at something? You practice. You have got to practice, right? So that was actually a cool glassine. What's next here? United Nations Vatican, so I don't have high expectations. Not many things in here. So yeah, just doing it. You just got to do it. You ever want to learn? You want to get good at this stuff? There's only one way to do it. You know, how did I get good at boxing? I freaking busted my ass in the gym and got good. And though it's been years, I still carry that with me every day. And I think I'm kind of the wrong guy to fist fight. I'll fucking punch your lights out, dude, if I feel like it. And that took a lot of effort and work to get good at it. Okay, none of this is special. And it's taken a lot of effort and work to get good at stamps, you know. A lot of practice, a lot of searching. Kings and Queens unknown. This is cool. It's so fun to go through this thing. Thanks, Carrie. I'm having fun. If anything, this is fun. Bent perf on that Machin. Bent corner, I mean, just a little bit bigger. Machin on paper. Oh, you know what? I still have the catalog up for Great Britain, and maybe I'll go look this one up real quick, just for fun. Let me take a guess. $1.25 cat. Let's see how I do. Okie doke. So this is number 114 from 1887 to 92. It was a $3.50 catalog value. So I was a little bit low on that one, but here I am spending more time in Great Britain and re-familiarizing myself. It's a nice refresher. I knew it wasn't worth like $20, but I figured it was worth probably a couple bucks or something like that. So there you go. I'll go ahead and slip this in the dealer approval book. I don't know why. I guess that's something I'm just going to be doing from now on, since all of those were Great Britain. And if I find any good Great Britain or anything worth a couple bucks or something, I'll slip it in that book and tally it onto that dealer approval books catalog value. And at the end, she'll have all that kind of together. So that's nice. All right. Let's continue on. Okay. Denominations, Queen. India, one Anna. It has really been a while since I've gotten into India too, and collectors know India, boy, can be quite complicated. All their different stamps, feudatory states, da da da. So that one was in that book as well, but I'm just gonna keep going. This is where I turn this in. I could, I could make this as big a task as I wanted it to be, but even though I know that one has like a 70-cent cat value, I'm not gonna bother this. This is a. At the end of the day, I still got my own collection to work on and stuff too, and spend all my time cataloging her stuff. But let's see here. Okay, a bunch of Great Britain, Australia on there. Silver Jubilee, 3 halfpence. See, those ones can be worth like a couple bucks. Look at that, silver wedding. That's cool. Okay. Okay. Do €5. That's cool. Somebody, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I'm forgetting her name. Was just telling me that that Great Britain switched from the pound to the euro, and I had no idea. I never even knew about that. It's totally right. Back in 1999, bent corners, creased. Bummer. Do you guys see that? What a shame. Bad condition. That's poor condition right there. Even though it's €5, I mean, it's just such poor condition. I think I'll just move along. I do kind of want to look up this India stamp just for fun. These were the 1 shillings. I think those were 70 cents cat. Nice postmark. What are you, Greece? Oh, French. Okay. 150 franc. I'm not 100% sure what that's worth. It does, I was going to say a pulled corner, but it's actually just a bent perf. Oh, I'm going to skip it. Okay. 16 pence. Okay. 2.5. So this is a bunch of British stamps. This was postage due 3 pence. Okay. This one completely stained. Goodness. Okay. That was Kings and Queens unknown. Alrighty. Asia. Wonder if we'll find some more Chinese stuff. Fiji. Hong Kong. Hey. That's kind of cool. I have looked that stuff up before. I don't think that's worth much. Japan. in my head I am thinking about how Japanese stamps are not quite as valuable as Chinese. Is this China? Hold on. Okay, I know this. This is the chrysanthemum. Is that design, whereas like the Chinese stamps have the Chinese sun. Excuse me, I'm sorry guys. I do believe Japanese stamps can be easily identified by this chrysanthemum, which I do believe is a flower. Could be wrong. Look, this is more Japan. Japan, yeah, Malaysia. Seen this one a million times. Philippines, accent. Yep, a lot of Japan. Okay, that's China. We've got our symbol there. A little, I don't even know how to describe that, right? Kind of crescent moon circle with the line, whatever. So we're going to set that out. Anything China, I'm going to set aside for Malaysia, Malaysia, Malaysia. China again. Alright, cool. Another one, Malaysia, Fiji. That is a 1 shilling 6. Oh gosh, I might as well look it up. I'm just not sure on the value on that. Don't expect much out of it. Japan. This is Korea. There's our ship. That ship is called Junk. This is a pretty common Chinese stamp here, and this is a 1 cent. Ew, hinged and nasty writing. Not worth our time. I don't think those junk stamps are worth much anyways. They're actually pretty common. Public Indonesia. Even though I said I'd set aside every Chinese stamp, that one I'll skip. Here's a early Japanese stamp. Half. Poor shape. Hinged twice. Malaysia, Malaysia. Malaysia. Let me just get all these Malaysias out of here. Indonesia. Okay, here's another chrysanthemum with a missing pulled corner perf or whatever. Nope. Yeah, these ones, like, I spent a lot of time in the cat looking these up and stuff, and I haven't really come up with anything that's worth money. That's a cool design. 62. Pretty recent issue, apparently. Vietnam. We've definitely got a bunch of old Japanese stamps here. That's China. It does have a screwed up back corner. Kind of sad. But whatever. I'll set that aside anyway. Keep the China separate from the rest of it. Okay, cool. Okay, Japan, 200. I just don't think that's worth anything. Malaysia, I mean, this is the condition we're talking about, you know. I mean, this is these glassines I'm going through. That's China. Does have a little bit of issues with the top right. Whatever's going on there. Looks like some kind of just stuff on there, I guess. The hair doesn't matter for the value, but I'll set that aside anyway, whatever. Fiji. And again. Malaysia 15. Here we have a Japanese overprint. Oh, my battery's gonna die. Hold on. Okay, guys, you know, just for fun, I just had a desire. This Chinese stamp here overprinted. Let's see if I can successfully use the identifier app. And of all things, I just got a notification that Carrie, whose collection this belongs to, oopsie, hold on, sent me a message saying that she thinks I'm doing a fine job. I really appreciate it, Carrie. Thank you. I am trying. Now, one thing I want to mention, see, I have my Android here. Let me just kind of go back. Hold on. So here's the app, just so you guys know, the stamp identifier from Connect. So I hit the little camera icon. You're going to put it over your stamp, right? Now, one thing I like to do, I don't know about Apple phones, but I like, on Android you can hit the zoom and choose what kind of zoom. I have like a S20 Ultra is my phone, but I like to do the zoom, that way I get a kind of up close picture of it. You want to kind of try to level the phone side to side and get it kind of flat. Basically take a good picture of it. Okay, that was good enough. We're going to say okay, that looks fine. Then we're going to pull down the corners and we're going to crop this guy. Now, I'm still experimenting with this, as I've just gotten back into using this app. I don't know how much of a margin you want to leave around it, but when I watched Exploring Stamps, he didn't leave much of a margin. That's probably more of a margin than he left. And anyways, once you get it to where you like it, we're going to hit the little check mark here and say that we like that. It's going to scan, and we'll see if it can come up with it. Wow. I don't know how well you guys can actually see that. I know that the shutter speed can affect the kind of how this phone looks. So looks like turning, I still got some weird lines going around, but you can see that it shows me everything that it thinks the stamp might be. Now we have a 4 stamp and a $30 overprint, and I have got to say that the first one here certainly looks an awful lot like our stamp. A little bit deeper color. Maybe this one's faded, and that could be. So anyway, let's hit that. It says China, and nothing to do with the shutter speed seems to really help that. There you go. Actually, that's a little better. Took it down to 50 shutter speed, which increases my ISO. That's why it's so bright. Anyways, so Martyrs of Revolution, right? Tells you the stamp, overprinted in an octagonal tablet. Okay. Now this is the only issue that I have with it. Unfortunately, it tells me, the Stanley Gibbons and, Mitchell and every other number but the Scott number, which is, of course, go figure, the catalogs that I have. But what I find to be incredibly useful is, well, it tells me the name of the stamp, what the issue is, right? So that's something I can search based on that. But it also tells me the year. The year has been incredibly useful. Now, sometimes what else I'll do to try and kind of convert this into the Scott catalog is, if I take the Stanley Gibbons number and type it into Google, just Stanley Gibbons CN-IM 900, and go to shopping or images, usually shopping, because a lot of people that are selling perhaps this stamp, they'll list the Stanley Gibbons and the Scott number. And so I'll just try to find a listing somewhere for this stamp that someone's selling, using the Stanley Gibbons number, and just kind of hope that they've also listed the Scott number. And oftentimes I'll end up finding that they have listed both, in their sale, in their listing. So anyways, that's just kind of what I go through with this app to try and end up figuring out where actually it is in the Scott catalog. Sometimes the year is enough, sometimes Martyrs of Revolution is enough. That's all incredibly useful information, instead of just going into the catalog, with no info and just searching page after page trying to find the stamp. At least I could even go into my digital catalog and search for Martyrs of the Revolution. It'll probably take me to the original issue in China, and then I can find that original issue, go to the bottom of the issue, and it'll tell me for overprints, go and see these numbers. And so that's like the kind of snail trail that I'll end up going through to figure out. Just basically use your research skills and try and figure out what the stamp is. I'm sure I can figure this out, but I know it's from 46. Anyways, let me actually go ahead and I'll switch my ISO, or my shutter speed. Let me go ahead and see if I can figure out what this stamp is and what it's worth, just for fun. Okay, so turns out this is number 721 in the Scott catalog for China. It is released on in 1946. So that ended up being actually the key bit of information for me, was simply the year. And I tried to Google the Stanley Gibbons number. I did not end up finding anything based on that to get it, find where it was in the Scott. So, but the year, I just hopped right into China in the catalog, and there's a bunch of different overprinted issues for that year. I found a similar design, and as far as I know, this is in fact a 25-cent catalog value stamp. See, lame. Go figure, right? Just because it's Chinese doesn't mean it's really worth anything. That's just the reality of it. But this is exactly what I've been talking about. You have an old stamp, looks cool, looks like it might be money, old, all that stuff. It ain't worth jack. This one's actually in fair condition. Does have a crease, actually. Never mind. So this one's probably worth, let's go 3 cents. Whatever. So it is because of the crease, and there's a little bit of kind of like paper disturbance there near the top of it on the back, right above the crease. So even though the perfs look okay, yeah, I mean the perfs aren't perfect either, but these older stamps, I don't think they really usually have great perfs. But yeah, that would be my thoughts. Anyways, I just wanted to look that up just for fun. Let's continue on. Okie doke. Indochina. This one I have looked up before. This is a Chinese stamp. Look at the plane going over the Great Wall. My guts are absolutely telling me that it's not worth anything. Sorry. The overprint, I'm not even gonna kid you. I'm not 100% sure, but I have I have actually spent time looking those up, and haven't turned up with anything of value. I think that's actually an airmail. Hence the plane, right? This, quite similar. This is also Chinese. An expensive overprint. Just for fun, guys. Let me just keep these together. I'll put them in a China pile, but I don't have any kind of high hopes at all. Ceylon. Okay, this one has the perfs cut off. It's Japanese. Malaysia. Fiji Christmas. Another Malaysia. Common Deutsch. Okay, this looks like Japan, and it is Japan. Now, I have been putting a lot of... actually, I have a whole section in my new giant album out of Japan, and I have a bunch of complete sets in there. And Japanese stamps, when they're mint, do not have bad catalog value, especially for complete sets. Of course, complete sets generally have good cat value. This is China and overprint. My guts are telling me it isn't worth anything, but we're going to continue putting the Chinese stuff that... See, I know that this isn't worth anything. I'm gonna skip that. I guess the China pile will kind of be either I don't know or I think might be better cat value. The other, like the junk stamps, I'm just not even gonna bother with that. I already know. I could spend 5 minutes here, go look that up, and let me tell you, it's gonna be worth 25 cents. Now this is a $5 Hong Kong stamp. That I don't know for sure, and that I will look up. Japan, Indonesia. This guy is not worth anything from Indonesia, in case any of you were wondering. Indonesia, more Japan. Cool stamp though. I like it. On paper, damaged. Republic, Indonesia. Japan again. I don't think that's worth anything. Okay. Yeah, so clearly I'm going to go more than 3 to 4 episodes for this, because here I am spending yet another episode on what I thought was going to be lesser, that's super common, that one, that wasn't worth anything. That is China, but let me tell you, that's worth 25 cents. In the cat. Yeah, I thought that these wouldn't be, these glassines were going to be a bunch of nothing, but that's China, that's 20, that's cool. The corner is a little, well, it's bent corner, which kind of sucks. I'll look that up anyways. Yeah, I like these, look at another big China. Bent bottom left corner, bummer. There's always something, right? This is why how you store your stamps is so important. Just to avoid damage. You have a really nice stamp worth money and you store it like crap, and now it ain't worth nothing because it's a big fat crease. This is China. This, just based on what we just went through, I'm gonna skip it. Or what I just went through. Yeah, it's not really worth anything. Here's a little pair. One of them's totally bent and creased. We'll put that over there. Indonesia. Here's another China. I also have. Oh, actually, this is the original that I. Oh my God! I think I. Hold on here. I still have it on my screen. This is Keng. I guess he was a martyr. What is this? 1. Okay. Orange. Yep. Worth 25 cents. This is number 313 from 1932 to 4. 25 cents, guys. And not even that, because it's hinged and something's going on here with some kind of stain at the top on the back and the perfs, and yep. Bye-bye. That's funny, I still have that up. On paper piece here, Japan 500. Nope. Skipping year. Here's China. This damaged, not even worth our time. Fiji, Japan. Nope. These little flowers, whatever, they ain't worth nothing. The guy here just has me giggling a little bit. That's funny looking guy. Japan. Okay. So that does it for this Asia envelope. I'm going to go ahead and hit the pause button again and have a shot and a little smoke on my vaporizer, and we're going to continue. I was actually just laughing at myself about how last time I was like, maybe I'll go a little faster. I guess not. Guess not, guys. Whatever. I said maybe, right? New Zealand. Okay, yeah, this envelope does say New Zealand. I can already tell you this is not valuable. Nope, 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 nope. But worth looking through. Little strips of 3 here. That's kind of cool. I like those. Actually, they got little creases, but they're okay. That one's a big nasty crease. Looks like a whole strip of 8. Skip that. These are common. Yeah, so nothing here. This was not really worth our time. What is that? Not worth our time either. Portugal. Okay, New Zealand here. Interesting. 6 pence overprint. Cook Islands, I imagine. Bent corner. A little bit of damage on the back. We're going to skip it. Oopsie. Okay, so that one went quick. Speaking of going quick, that's how I kind of expected all the rest of those to go. That one was easy. So actually, like, this is a 1 shilling 6, but no, I don't think it's. None of this is special. We have just some random Sudan stamp here with a policeman. And this cutout of a stock card, I guess. I'll set this aside too. Don't think it's worth anything. Canada, Australia. Boy, kind of more of the same. Right, there's our roos, Australia. Yep. Oops, so you guys can see. Australia 50 cent. Canada, nope, nothing. Platypus there. I don't know if you guys know this, but platypuses are, of course, one of the freakiest animals on the planet. They actually have a poison. They're poisonous. There's some kind of spine or something in their mouth, on their bill. Don't want to get bit by a platypus. What a funky animal, right? Is it a beaver? Is it a duck? What the hell is that thing? And it's poisonous. Pretty sure it's a mammal. Anyways, platypuses. One of God's creations? You must have been drunk that day. Okay, Australia. This is all. None of this is. We saw that last time. That guy. Australia, 2 pence. Yeah, this is nothing. Just a mix of lowland Australia, a little bit of Canada. There's a roo, but that's not their earliest issue. That's nothing. Alright, well that was actually, those last two didn't take much brain power at all. So, let me raise you up here. This is the envelope of everything I've set aside. I've kind of bunched all of the Chinese stamps over here, and then everything else that I don't know or am considering looking up just for fun here. So we'll slip this guy in there as well without damaging anything, preferably. Okay. So yeah, out of all of those glassines, I have come up with, you know, a little bit of stuff here. So I do have the other stuff from the other episodes over there somewhere, and I'll go set this with that. And of course, anything that isn't really special, I will just kind of add back into these glassines and carry on. Now, this is our box, and this is where we're at now, so that you guys can get a look at what is left here, because there's still a fair bit, like a lot. The nice thing is, I know that this isn't going to like last forever, and I'll get through all this. What do we got here? Edward Thrall. It says 788 to 92, Grenada Silver Jubilee 285, from sheetlet of 5 versus sheetlet of 25. Still, you know, we can't just trust everything has this been labeled, but see these all actually look pretty much mint. I don't see any damage. That's actually quite full. I feel like additionals were added in here. This was supposed to be one set. So what is this really? What is this? Grenada? What does that say? Yeah, Grenada. Okay. Yeah, they're all Grenada. I'll figure out what to do with that. But so, anyways, this is kind of where we're at. There's still like a little bit of stragglers of, clearly this is like a mixed bag here. There's Portugal, some Great Britain. Looks like similar to what we just went through. But this is where we're at now, is actual glassines of different stuff. And so we'll have to just see how this goes. I don't know how much time I'll end up spending on all this. So all of these are not perfectly labeled. This just says 928, but clearly there's different issues in here. These are all Barbados. And they do writing on the back. Bummer. Hinged. This is where this is still, you know, this stuff is still mixed. You know, as far as condition, hinged, not hinged. I mean, what do you do with a whole thing here? Like, I'm not going to go look up every one of these. I doubt they're worth anything. So I'll still be able to sort of breeze through, but you know, just to kind of pull some stuff so you can see, because I think I'm going to stop the video here just so it doesn't end up being as long as a Lord of the Rings movie. And I expect that I'll probably continue tomorrow, but see, look at that, they say catalog value 35 cents, nothing special there. New Zealand, we've got a mix here, say it's worth $7.50, sells for $1.50. Montserrat, Cayman Islands. Look at Cayman Islands, says short set. See, this is what I was talking about. If this is not a complete set, then, you know, I'm not going to pay it much mind. I mean, complete sets are complete, and this is incomplete, you know, so I'm sorry, but this probably isn't worth much. This Easter 1970 stamp, I pretty much already know isn't worth much. Even if it was a complete set, probably worth $1. Cayman Islands. So, like, that's kind of a joke. We'll see what we end up getting into, but there definitely is, at least things are not giant mixed glassines of a bunch of random stuff. Grenada St. Vincent, that might actually be a complete set. Numbers 399 to 402. So anyways, and you can tell, I mean, just look, I mean, goodness, there's still so much stuff in here. Some things clearly look better than others. We got a little souvenir sheet there of reptiles. Don't want to bend anything, but it's like digging through the layers, and so I actually was kind of feeling like I had fairly high hopes here, but this is my first look. We're all kind of doing this together. I haven't skipped ahead or anything, and I'm not, like, as I am looking at this now, I'm not really thinking that this Grenada, a bunch of Grenada Olympics 72, like Grenada Easter 76, like this stuff still, even though it looks better than the other stuff, it still isn't really floating my boat. But nonetheless, next time we'll continue on and keep going, and start digging into this thing a bit more. And yeah, I mean, eventually, you know, I can kind of tell, like, there's an awful lot of glassines, but we'll get through it all and work our way through. I honestly, hold on one sec. I actually feel like I'm kind of gaining confidence as I'm going through this box. You know, this is a lot of stamps, but I have gone through exponentially many more times worth of stamps than this, and on my own, just for my own collection, and still, so far, most of this would just end up in my grab box. But there really is a lot of stuff in here, and, you know, believe it or not, this is not actually her entire collection. And like I was saying before, this is not her personal collection. She's asked me to value this for her to sell. And yeah, she's mentioned she has a couple of albums left that she didn't send that wouldn't fit in the box. And so there's more to this collection, whoever owned it, and I'm curious about what the albums are like, because, you know, they may be just full of common issue, minimal catalog value stuff too, but, you know, the fact that they're albums gives me a little bit of faith and hope that they would be worth something. Like we were saying, things are just simply worth more when they're organized and cataloged into albums already. Basically, it seems like, you know, if you're going to sell stamps, if whatever content you've come into possession of, the former owner has actually made effort, it seems like the quality of an album or collection, you know, based on the effort of what the owner has made, translates directly into the actual sale value. Like, I'll look at an album that Stanley Gibbons has got, you know, and they make a nice video of it, and the albums were thousands and thousands of dollars, and it's because when you actually watch the video and you look at the album, you can understand why. It's because it's like really well done. You know, if it's a mint album, all the stamps are actually mint. And it's organized and cataloged and that kind of stuff. So let's say even if the person that owned this collection was a stamp collector, he didn't build this collection into anything noteworthy. This is still, in my mind, just an accumulation. So anyways, we'll continue on. I'll dig into the other contents hopefully tomorrow, as long as something doesn't impede me from doing so. I have every intention of continuing the process tomorrow, with using my free time here on the weekends. So, and then yeah, if if I'm not like totally beat after work, or just don't feel like it, then hopefully one of these days next week I'll just kind of continue on. Clearly I'm not going to make kind of my one video per weekend here. I'm just going to kind of do a spree of videos where I just am going to make my way through this collection, and then at the end, I'll tally everything up and do my best to give it a value that I think is appropriate. So, thanks for watching as always, guys. Any feedback you have is appreciated. You have any criticisms, don't hesitate. I mean, if I missed a stamp that was worth money, let me know. And if you think there's anything that I can do to do this more properly, if you think I'm missing something or any of that, I mean, you're welcome to chime in the comments and tell me. I am doing this to the best of my ability right now, and I think I'm doing a fair job. It's nice that Carrie thinks I'm doing a good job too. Thanks, Carrie. I appreciate it, and I am enjoying this. So this is all great. Very pleased with so far myself, and this journey through this box. It's fun. Yeah, very pleased. So I'll catch you on the next episode, guys. Take care now.